Oh, speaking of that, I was watching some of the new Sunny. Like, I still hadn't watched the most recent season. I haven't seen most of it still, but I watched a couple, and they should have just canceled that show a couple years ago. It is a shadow of what it used to be.
It wasn't a good season. They had like 2 or 3 good episodes.
Yeah, and I must have not got to those yet because I was not laughing. The Wade Boggs one with the all-girl remake. First of all, I didn't think the original Wade Boggs one was that funny. Like,
No,
it was
wasn't.
just forced and stupid. And then to remake an episode that wasn't even a big fan favorite, it's like, you're just being fucking lazy now, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Remake a popular one, if anything.
If anything, they were making fun of the idea of doing like girl remakes, right? Like that was the core thing being
like a
mocked.
Ghostbusters.
I got it.
Yeah.
It just didn't make it funny, though.
Yeah.
I think Ghostbusters did it earnestly, though.
Oh, Ghostbusters did do it earnestly. They were making fun of films like Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I watched episode 6 of The Outsider.
I did as
show's
well.
Great. Keeps getting better and better. I don't want to give anything away for anyone out there who hasn't seen it yet. Have you watched any, Filthy?
I don't know. I gotta go Google which one that is. My wife
it's on
watches
the
a lot of
HBO
television, and I don't.
My Twitch chat agrees with the recommendation. I'm not caught up yet, but they said it's legit.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
It's the best thing on TV right now. And I think that on the
Oh yeah, my wife's definitely watching this.
Ozark, March 27th, new season of that. So get that to look forward to.
That show
I
kicks
have a
ass.
non-spoiler question. Is this the kind of show that can have a season 2 and 3?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more of a miniseries, Band of Brothers style.
Okay.
You could do it like
10 hours.
True Detective.
I don't know, they
right?
could
Where
get
you
to
can
the-
have. You could do. Go on, Kyle.
It doesn't seem like it's headed that way, but if they really wanted to, and I don't think they will, I could totally see, like, I don't think this is a spoiler to say, the black girl character who's very quirky, she could be like, you don't understand. It wasn't just this. Look what I found. And then it could become almost like her traveling around, like doing more of this sort of thing that she's doing right now. But I don't think they're going to go that angle. I'm hoping that it's just this one season. I think a lot of things are better when you just have a self-contained story and it's over.
Yeah.
I'm so glad the Watchmen got canceled and they're not doing a second season.
Oh, that already got canceled? I
Yeah,
thought they were
fuck that
spending
show.
oodles of money on that.
I didn't
Yeah,
really
they
like that show
did.
either. It got better as you got further into it, but the first couple were so bad at grabbing you. You're just like, what the fuck is going on, and why would I care for that?
I got to be honest, I didn't like that they made Dr. Manhattan black. He shouldn't be white or black. He should be
He's
blue.
supposed to be blue, right? Yeah.
Well, he's got to start somewhere, right? Because he's a human who's transformed.
Well, he started as white in the comic.
Who cares?
And Kyle is a purist. He's a purist of that. If they try and remake Shaka Zulu and it's some Irish dude applying SPF 75 prior to the battle, nah, you've lost me. I'm not interested.
He's up
You know,
there with
some
that
ginger?
big, that fucking shield.
That would be
No.
hilarious if there's
Yeah,
just
that
one
would be
ginger playing.
Hey, listen to
They
me,
won't
little
take our
chicks.
homeland. They won't do it. No matter how hot and terrible. Yeah.
But he's the only person cast that way.
Yeah.
Everybody else is clearly West African.
Yeah, everybody else is like from the Bantu tribe, clearly West African. Just
Like when it
Irish
begins, he's hanging with his family, and it's like the beginning of The Jerk with Steve Martin. No one got that reference. You've never seen the. All right, so there's a
I've
movie
seen
called
too
The
long.
Jerk with Steve Martin. He's raised by a black family from birth, and he has no idea that he's not black.
Yeah.
And it begins, and they're all in their little house, like singing and clapping, and he's the only one who can't keep beat because he's white and has no rhythm. It's really good. And of course, like Steve Martin's hair's been white since he was like 25 or something like that. So he's playing like an 18-year-old, but he's Steve Martin with the white hair, clearly in his 30s or something. It's good. It's funny. The Jerk.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Well, this would be a good movie too. An Irish Shaka Zulu. You know what? My own idea just now made me okay with black Dr. Manhattan. That's fine.
I like to think that there
Coming from
was.
someone who didn't care either way anyway, I don't watch
I
that
like to
shit.
think there were 4 assholes on a phone call. I'm like, guys, we get this. Let's make Dr. Manhattan black.
It just didn't make any sense. And then, like the only good, there was only one white character who wasn't a villain, and he was a buffoon who was like a shell-shocked, PTSD-ridden buffoon hiding in his basement in a bunker. And he's the only white male character, straight character who's
Any of them heroes?
no.
No, and that, I was gonna say but so the point being like the only non-villain character, they're all pretty villainous. Like,
I don't feel
all
like
of them.
the
They're all
main character,
vigilantes,
the black female police officer who wears the
I didn't
nun
find her
outfit.
particularly virtuous.
not virtuous, but in that world, she's definitely on the side of good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like certainly maybe like as a whole, but like
I was
granularly, like so that like everyone, I thought everyone in that, I thought they did if anything a fairly decent job of portraying that as a pretty morally compromised existence for pretty much everyone there.
The main villain is the KKK.
You see, that's well nuanced.
Really, like the people though were all shitty, like all of them. All the heroes were all deeply flawed heroes.
Sure, that's true. But when I felt like there was a lot going on there. It's just like the main hero is a black woman. The
Main bad guys being the KKK is so funny. Where it's like, we're gonna get them, boys, and it's like, Cletus, the mayor said no to our attempt to go to the park and protest. He didn't stamp our seal. And he's like, well, fuck. There's always next year, boys. And they just turn around and leave. Like, like 3 dozen retards?
There's a lot of nonsense. I watched every bit of that show, and every episode I'm just going, and then they went back in time and they made another character, not just black, but gay. A gay black.
I mean, clearly this didn't play well if they spent a fuck ton of money and they're not renewing it.
Yeah, and it's a huge property, and it's it's comic themed. Like it just seems like if they hadn't been so outrageously woke, that they could have had a real hit on their hands.
Yeah,
dude, you don't agree that going back and turning like the first superhero into a black gay man?
Irrelevant. I'm very anti woke shit, and I'm really not trying to just virtue signal here from like being like, but I just don't care. Like that's such a non-issue for me to give a shit about. Like I didn't like that show, but didn't like it on its I didn't like it on its own merits, like not because it changed the fucking character's race. A race character, to be fair, I had no idea what the existing race was. So maybe it would offend me more if I was like a fan of like the canon of that or something. But like,
it's mostly ambiguous, but there's a couple of clues that lead you to believe this is a white man, because at one point he always wears that stupid mask, but you can see the outline of his eyes. Of course, in the show, they're like, oh, it was a black man putting makeup on his eyes. That's what it was the whole time.
Kyle, counterpoint. Dr. Manhattan's dick is enormous. And
it's huge.
Yeah. Which leads me to believe it was supposed to be a black man.
Doesn't he have the ability to like change anything at any time for any reason?
He is
single-handedly double penetrate.
Like he can just like open a bank vault or like blow up a planet.
Oh, far more powerful than that. He can like freeze time.
I know. I did a bit of a gap there between blow up a bank vault and
he could pick a lock and destroy the moon.
Only one
everything in between.
Right?
I'm just saying,
crush an ant or crush the world.
He can rearrange all the particles in the universe, and he's really good with a dart gun.
He could do your taxes and fly faster than light.
I'm just saying, if the Lord of the Rings show comes out and some character's like, "Oh, hero, I'm Regorus," I'm not gonna care for that. You change this silly property however you want because it doesn't affect me.
Yes,
but you keep Lord of the Rings the way it's supposed to be.
I don't care for cultural appropriation. I saw a white girl with dreadlocks or braids, I should say, like African style braids, get tossed across a shopping mall yesterday, and I
in
thought,
real life,
where did you see this?
Or was it in a video?
On the internet.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Nobody goes to shopping mall.
Like what?
I was in a shopping mall.
This checks out as true. Nobody goes.
It was just them and the cameraman. It's a death arena in there. There's nobody to help. She threw this girl.
That's what happens if you go to a mall now.
They're like mass shooting at the local mall. 3 killed.
It's like motocross bikes and Mad Max armor.
Yeah. It's fucking Thunderdome over at Macy's. Yeah, she tossed this bitch like she was a rag doll. The